And that's how we're starting this for the people who are watching us in-game. For the people who are not watching us in-game, hello and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 14, Week 1, Game 2. Ganker x Ganker versus Attack on Elder Titan. Last game, Ganker x Ganker had, as Randy put it, Death Prophet issues. This time, no more Death Prophet, no more issues.
That's how it works, yeah.
Iceman is banning out Hoodwink because I chose to cast this game, so he wants to make us happy this week. Or at least me.
I've been told I sound like Hoodwink.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoever that mysterious man was, Godlike Matt, I have no idea what you were talking about. Shoutouts to Godlike Matt, friend of the show, who said Katie sounds like Hoodwink, and I have never heard a less accurate statement, I don't think.
I know none of the Hoodwink lines, so I couldn't really do an impression of her anyway.
You could, it just wouldn't be a good or accurate one.
Ah, tree hugger, something like that.
Ah, fresh meat.
Fresh
pick Witch
meat,
Doctor.
yeah.
Dota. Witch Doctor.
It's a risky pick. I think it's a little less risky now. I feel like with the change to Witch Doctor's heal, it's kind of hard to just knock him out with the support line. So I think it's still possible. It's just not the absolutely cursed, can never do it type situation anymore. Be interesting to see if the guys read the patch notes. Because I know a lot of Witch Doctor players have still not read them yet. Randy, how'd they change Witch Doctor?
His heal does damage. It's very good.
Very, very good laning skill in a lot of lanes. Vengeful Spirit is such a spirit that I can't see her. She's invisible to me. VS into Witch Doctor? Yeah, that ain't bad. That is indeed a good way to try and eliminate him on that support line.
10 seconds remaining.
Not a perfect solution, but decent enough. I wouldn't worry about him. Well, not worry about him, but not consider him as a mainline threat. Let's put it like that. I think VS is a good pick. I can't really think of too many games where a VS is not going to be useful, you know? To at least some degree. The passive is just a straight up, just no thought required upgrade for everyone around you. The swap is, if you're communicating with your team at least a little bit, the swap is good.
Dire team pick.
Tide Hunter.
I guess we're not going to be allowed to see anyone during this pick phase.
Alright.
They got one pick here to try and stem the tide. Before the bans come out, they can start protecting that.
Remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Katie rhetorically asked me how you deal with Tide Hunter.
How do you deal with Tide Hunter?
Well, I know that was a rhetorical question, but I'm still going to answer you anyway. Hey, that guy ain't bad. I can tell you that from experience.
Radiant team ban.
How do you deal with the Tide Hunter? You either put him in situations where his complement of skills is not going to be particularly useful to him, like you see with Ursa, or you put him in situations where he's going to be hard-pressed to get any of the positioning done. Even if your life isn't going to start and end with a Ravage skill, you're still, where you're standing and where you're moving are still going to be very important factors for you in a fight. You know, even compared to most heroes. I know everybody has to walk around in Dota, don't get me wrong, but for a hero like Tidehunter, that's an especially important skill.
Radiant team ban.
Again, no Huskar. Again, no Lena. But no Invoker this time. They're not letting that Iceman Invoker unchallenged again.
Man, Tidehunter is not gonna have a lane. He is literally just a big watermelon waiting to be carved up by Ursa.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about the Tidehunter into Ursa matchup. Tidehunter needs like a... Tidehunter needs the best lane partner in the world, and needs Ursa to not have a good one. That's basically how it goes for him. And even then, he's still kind of at a disadvantage. Even then, he's always still mortal. If the support can't kill Ursa themselves,
Radiant team
Tide Hunter's
ban.
not going to be any help. No Phantom Lancer, that's a very interesting ban.
Ursa doesn't like him.
Hey, there's a lot of people Ursa don't like.
10 seconds.
That's true, but it's better to have a bad, like, pause 2 matchup for
5
Ursa
seconds
than a bad
remaining.
pause 1. Because, like, if your pause 1 has a bad matchup, you're just on the clock.
It's true. I guess what I'm saying is there are more bad matchups for Ursa in that pause 1 position than just the Phantom Lancer.
Radiant team pick.
Like Drow Ranger.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, I like Drow Ranger. That worked out splendidly.
Yeah, you just gotta not lose the game.
A Rubik, okay. Rubik helps with the kiting of Ursa before BKB.
Yep.
5 seconds.
Can also
remaining.
get a lot of havoc going on.
Even after
by
BKB if he gets a shard.
Also has a lot of havoc going on with the Witch Doctor skills. Tiny. Tiny is coming in.
So pause 4 Tiny.
Could be. Could be a 2 Tiny. Could be anything that Iceman wants it to be. Probably not 1. I don't think you're going to send Tiny 1 over Ursa.
Yeah,
10 seconds remaining.
it's a jungle Ursa.
Yeah. There you go.
5 seconds remaining.
Shoutouts to 2014. Why is it I'm only allowed to see the Dire? This is such a weird situation. Usually when this happens to me, it's like, I can't see any of the heroes, or I can see the heroes just like outside of like the first couple selections, but nope, this time it's I can see no Radiant guys, and I can see all the Dire guys.
Queen
Wop.
of pain.
Solid mid pickup.
Some good anti-positioning going on with the Iceman lineup. In other words, with the Quap
10
there, you
seconds
can have somebody
remaining.
who's going to not get hit by the Ravage
Dire
and then be
team
able to
back.
pop in and start going crazy. Unless Puck has their say. It's a good response. I think it's actually a really good Puck game so far. And it's kind of hard to see
Yeah,
what a
it's good.
5th pick would be to make that not the case.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
We've had a lot of bans out on mid so far. Now we know for certain this ain't gonna. Well, this last pick ain't gonna be mids probably,
Radiant
unless we're gonna be
team
doing like a pause 3 quap meme strat or something. Seems to me like it's the pause 3 on attack on ET they're still waiting for. Unless it's Tiny 3.
10
We've been seeing a
seconds
little bit
remaining.
of rumblings of that recently. Could be Tiny 3,
5
hypothetically, I
seconds
guess, but likely going to be our 3. Likely going to be support Tiny. No Slark.
Dire team ban.
No Bristleback, yep. Seems that Ganker X Ganker
Radiant team
has
ban.
agreed with that assessment. And yeah, it definitely is one for the Kid Dynamite lineup. Once again, there's going to be a lot riding on whatever Blue Jays play in this game. It's definitely going to have to be a very good response to the Ursa in this sitch.
Just pick Drow again, Lamau.
Yeah.
Questionable.
Who's gonna
seconds
stop
remaining.
him?
Quap.
Tiny.
5 seconds
Who
remaining.
else is gonna stop him?
I mean, Witch Doctor ain't great either, depending on how he's positioning himself in fights. And whoever this is could also be a factor.
Radiant team pick.
Imba
Imba
Spirit.
Spirit. Okay, so there's another one. Another great reason to not pick Drow Ranger.
Okay, yeah, not looking like a great Drow game right now. After that pick.
Ten seconds remaining.
Got a good amount of time to think this one over, at
5
least.
seconds remaining.
I don't know, this is hard. I feel like there's so much writing on this pause 1. It just has to win. It has to 1v5, basically.
I just cannot think what's in Blue Jay's pool that would also be good here. Like, I don't think there is anything.
I think the closest thing to a really good, like, a game-winning pick you got here is probably PA. I don't think that's necessarily enough.
Yeah, he's pretty good at PA, but PA is looking quite weak this patch.
Hey, it's always good into Ursa.
I mean, Faceless Ward is in the pool. I don't know if Blue Jay plays it.
Phantom
Ganker,
Master.
There's
PA.
Oh, there you
PA.
They're listening.
Yeah,
Murray,
this is
Murray,
kind
Blue
of.
Jay.
Other
Hero.
heroes, but I feel like ultimately PA probably wins the matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree that Phantom Assassin is just going to, at least eventually, going to be able to deal really well with the Ursa. The big question is not going to be Ursa, though. The big question is, are Quap and Ember going to be able to stop it? And hey, it was a meme pause 3 Quap pick.
Or they're sending Renoy mid, and Iceman pause 1, and Ursa jungle.
Yeah, there we
10
go.
seconds remaining.
Wonder who's going to pick Tiny.
5 seconds remaining.
You know, you don't have to do this anymore if you're not, like, obfuscating your choice. You still get the same amount of time anyway. It was Rabbi the whole man, that's an ugly Tiny set. Sorry, Rabbi.
3, 2, 1. Adios.
Katie, what do you think of that Tiny skin?
It's
Is it ugly?
yeah, it's ugly.
That's what they say in the UK, they say ugly. Well, it's what Carl Pilkington says, I should clarify.
That's what at least one person in the UK says, yes.
There we go. I think I like the Dyer's odds here.
Really?
Yeah, it's just PA is gonna have a lot on her plate. It's like Ursa is allowed to pop off. Oh, we gotta have a little bit of funny business here on the lineup screens, I guess. Best lineup screens I've ever seen. But it's okay.
You're
it should be
saying a
over
lot's
now.
riding on the PA, but like, what about the KD puck?
I almost feel bad.
Puck is going to be a
Prepare
very
for
major
battle.
force in the early goings of this game. A shift, you know, in a game where you got the Ember Spirit, and a game where you got the support Tiny, which, you know, Puck is not a huge fan of. Does not like that alpha damage. Does not
Prepare
like
for a lesson.
occasionally being able to be followed.
Your name.
It's gonna be a very strong lane, and it's gonna be a very strong first 20 minutes. But like, there's a lot that can go wrong that can make Puck a non-factor in this game. Well, not a non-factor, but only a supporting factor, basically. And if Puck is reduced to a supporting factor, then we're back in the status quo I was about to say, where it's like, Ursa on Dyer is allowed to pop off, and nobody else is. Like, if Ember Spirit has a really good game, it's gonna be really bad for
30
PA.
seconds to
If
battle.
Quap has a really...
Heroes.
Yeah.
Contesting the rune here.
Yep, gonna have invasion here. If Quap has a really good game, it's gonna be really bad news for the PA for at least quite a long time. I think he got a good position to just put the thumb down on her. If they put the thumb down on her and Kid Dynamite
Mine's
has to do the
dead.
carry, it's very bad. I'm just gonna body block.
The battle begins.
First blood for Iceman.
That's
First
the
blood.
best person it could have been on in this lineup, I think. So that's a good start, and they're gonna get this second rune up here for free.
Even
I agree.
Master falters.
Well, Now, because we're not having some weird-ass driver issues, we're going to be able to do our rundowns. So, starting out with Ganker x Ganker. Pause 1 on the Phantom Assassin. Tweet, it's Big Blue Jay. Making his second season in LD2L. First season as a Pause 1. So it'll be interesting to see that unfold. Pause 2, captain of the team, Kid Dynamite. He's sponsored by Trash. All trash in the world, I guess. It's a pretty big garbage racket. Pause 3, you've got Looter on the Tidehunter here. Looter, the man who does everything. You know, I think if there is somebody in this season where I think we're going to have to keep our eye on them who might give us some big surprises, it might be this guy. Alright, as far as performances go. Pause 4, you got Dark Ace. It's kind of an edgy name, I'm not gonna lie to you. Kind of sounds like it comes from like an IRC. I hate to say it. No offense to the guy, I'm sure he's great. And finally, Pause 5, we got Code Line, who's sponsored by Code. If only his team was Line. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, on Attack on Elder Titan. Pause 1, you got Blackacre, the artist formerly known as Boofus, the artist formerly known as being a Pause 3 for a bunch of seasons in a row, and now being a Pause 1. So far, he's been playing a lot of Ursa. Pause 2, you've got Iceman, who's repping his own team out here and is a member of the Legion. Which means that if you're doing chems or if you're just a woman in general, maybe stay away. Pause 3, standing in for Mr. Fishy, you got Mihoy Manoy Doodle Bob himself. Taking on the role here today as Quap. Pause 4, you got Rabbi, as mentioned before, the older brother of Cranberry Sprite. Here on the Tiny. Also has that Harambe clan tag, I notice. And just threw a creep to Manoy, very sad. And Pause 5, you got Mufasa. I didn't know who this guy is when he did the draft. Turns out he's one of Godlike Matt's friends. Apparently he would be godlike, but he's just not good enough. At least that's what Matt told me. So if you're Mufasa and you hear that, blame Matt, not me. So far, there's been a lot of toll on the Rubik in the top lane. Really not anybody else. I mean, Ursa's a little low, but not deadly low yet. Tick-tock. Kid Dynamite throws out his bowling ball to try and stop the Iceman bottle charge. Does not actually get it. Very sad. So far here at mid, you can see the last hits, and the last hits are about even, and I's very slightly favoring Kid Dynamite, but, you know, Iceman leading the last hits. XP-wise, almost identical, so 3.5 minutes in, nothing really been strongly established here at mid. It just kind of seems like a slow start to this game in general. What do you guys think? I am still here, right?
And it was
Yeah.
a slow start to the last game too, so
True.
to be expected with these teams.
Hey, I mean, I didn't see that one.
I really expected Kid Dynamite to just come out and be dominating off the bat, but it doesn't seem to be happening.
I mean, what can I say? Ember Spirit started out with Flame Guard. He's not going to be that easy to put down as puck.
That should help.
Basically, the way you kill Ember Spirit is that you put him in down to attrition, you silence him before he can get a Flame Guard up, and then you kill him in the time of the silence. That's like your only real path to a kill for puck in this particular lane, which is not impossible. And, you know, there is the occasional, you know, sometimes things happen, right? So it wouldn't be completely, it's not like out of the question that things go wrong for the Ember Spirit in another way. But as far as like reliability goes, as far as, you know, consistency goes, that's going to be your main factor here. Is Ember Spirit going to be able to kill Puck in kind? Probably not really. But I think he is going to be able to put enough of a toll on Puck that he's going to be able to kind of secure some of these last hits. Might have a go in on the Rubik here, but Ursa just too slow. Gets thrown right back out. He's
And
not
the
going to be.
lifts.
He needs to get some boots before he's going to be able to do that. Titan are getting very aggressive here, though the second Ursa comes back, he just has to start walking away. No surprises there. Can tell you this lane is going to change a lot. You know, usually we're not like, at least I'm not big on the watching the items camming lane. I know there's some people out there who are big fans of that. But, this lane is going to change a lot when Ursa gets boots. Like, when he's going to be able to do that and be more threatening about it, Rubik's going to have to start spending a very large portion of his mana bar to get them to stop. Or else Ursa's just going to kind of eat people. What is going on here? This is a bit awkward.
Goodbye, Manoy.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Unfortunate.
Okay, I was watching whatever was happening in the midst of the dire jungle. What happened to Manoy?
He died.
Yeah, I know how to happen.
Well, Blue Jay has been jumping on him every opportunity since the beginning of this lane, and it just like chipped him down to the point where he was in kill range.
Definitely a
It's
good
bound
start
to
for him.
happen.
You know, one thing I mentioned is that this game gets a lot worse for Blue Jay
Gonna
if...
go on Todd about the lifts. That lift's invaluable in this lane.
Yep. But again, as I said, oh, Ursa calling in something on that courier. Let's see what he's got. He's got those boots. And like I said, when those boots come out, it's going to start getting a very hairy prospect to be Tidehunter to exist here.
Really, it equally doesn't matter because of the lift, but we'll see.
Well, man needs mana to lift, and it's not. It does not. It's not off cooldown 24/7. You know what I'm
Dire's middle
saying?
tower is under attack.
It's going to get to the point where it's like every time they want to go on Titan, or they just kind of can, and every time the lift has to be there, and the first time it's not there for one reason or another, it's over.
The thing is, they also need Melodic and Cask, probably.
I don't think they do. I think that
I don't think Ursa can just run at him. He can just walk away.
even if he walks away, he's not going to walk away with enough health to matter.
If he doesn't die, that's the important part.
Dire's middle tower.
No, the
is under
important
attack.
part is that if he has to run away, then he either needs to call in the supply lines or wait. He doesn't have any more region outside of one tango. If Tidehunter
He's even gone on it again.
spends a lot of time.
He's dead. Oh, he's not dead. What a blink. I should have had faith.
Comforting rune of regeneration.
But as I was saying, Tidehunter has to spin the rest of the lane basically as far away as possible when lift's not up. Not the best situation for him. Ursa started out this lane low on the last hit chart, but he's starting to turn that around a little bit now. He's starting to climb up the rankings. Could be bad for Rubik. Not Witch Doctor, just slightly too far out of range. We're gonna chase him down here though, but... Well, Iceman wants this
Iceman.
kill.
Oh, okay. That means he's dead.
Just rolls right over the Rubik. He's able to get to lane, back to lane pretty fast. It's pretty much nothing but good for him. And yeah, that's fast enough, I would say. Comes back right when the wave's pushing into him. Yeah, it's definitely good for him. And has given Ursa so much free time in this lane that he's put himself at the top of the net worth, or not net worth, but top of the last hits chart. And that kind of gets to what I was talking about earlier about, you know, even if the lift is going to stop Ursa from getting any kills, the fact that they have, it's like there's so much pressure on them now surrounding it. It's like, Ursa's just going to, either they have to play really haphazardly and stick their neck out a lot, or Ursa's going to be able to get a lot done. And yeah, we have a puck gank down at bot lane. Knocks out the Tiny.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Alright, so it's the line versus Iceman, the only heroes with kills in this game. Very nice.
So far, Blue Jay's last hits count ain't great. He does have a kill to his name at least. Well, he doesn't have a kill actually, he has 3 assists. So, never mind, he was not 1-0-2, he was 0-0-3. Which I would have known if I had looked up here. But either way, 3 assists certainly ain't bad for him. So even though he's low on that last hits chart, it's not as bad as it looks on paper. I would say if there's anybody who might be sweating their position a little bit at this point, it's probably Puck. There's definitely going to need more than this to be able to be a factor in this game, but where's he going to get the money, right? I mean, you know, any easy farm on this map is definitely going to have to go to PA. They give it all to Puck, there's no victory condition, basically.
Invisibility.
And Tidehunter gets run over. So Ursa is now top in the last hits chart and has a kill under his belt. 101. It's definitely a strong start for Blackacre here. Rather predictable. Oh, we got a kill on PA down at bot.
Rabbi popping
Dire's
off a
middle
little bit.
tower is under attack.
Anyway. Sonic
Minoy,
Wave.
yeah, I assume that was
destroys
just.
the entire lane.
Yeah, I assume that was just get 6, hit R, rubble comes through.
Yeah. Okay, top lane. Oh, the Ravage! Ursa has the Enrage. Can stave off death a little bit here. But Kid Dynamite. Oh, man.
Good ult.
Yep, that was an unfortunate time for Boofus to try and stay and fight there. If he had just right-clicked T1 the second he had the opportunity, there's a solid chance he still dies, but dramatically less than the percentage that just happened. That's definitely good. Definitely good for them. Kid Dynamite kind of needed that, to be frank. And that's going to put him back more.
Tidehunter is a rich man right
Dire's top
now.
tower is under
He
attack.
is. He has as many
Richest
CS
man
as
in
the
this
Sosa.
game.
Yep. And just one life ago, that Ursa was like 20 CS on him. The amount that one gank changes things.
Annoying. Posturing a little bit. 20 seconds
Kid
to
Dynamite
wave.
also posturing on this. He's looking to go back under the T1 tower top again.
The rune of regeneration.
Thinking about it? Thinking about it? I don't know if they do. I'm gonna spit on Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is taking the wrong approach here. Dies instantly.
Radiant's middle
Oh, Ursa's
tower is
actually
under
in a
attack.
pretty decent modicum of trouble here. He has the Enrage, but... Gonna have to think. That's funny, the Enrage actually stopped Rubik from forcing Ursa to break the puck hold.
Sonic Wave kills the S bottom, by the way. Well, this is happening.
Running out on the... running out on Tidehunter
He's dead.
here.
He's dead to the Melody. Goodbye, Ursa.
Very sad.
And Kid
But
Dynamite.
if Puck is randomly gonna die, then I'm not crying if I'm Ursa.
Fox is doing a hard reset.
I mean, I'm a little upset if I'm Ursa, because nothing... I mean,
Well, I'm
PA's
sad if I'm
recovering.
Ursa personally, but like that's definitely an advantage
Dire's
for their
bottom
team.
tower is under
You know,
attack.
the big deal being there that Iceman got yet another kill with nothing going wrong for him. He is currently well on the top of those net worth charts. And frankly, I'm a little more scared of Ember Spirit with 5.5 grand at this point than I am of Tide with 5 grand. He's definitely looking to do well for it. Ursa's moved into the jungle here. Oh, he's already got himself some travels. Looking for Yules into BKB. He's got quite the 5-year plan going on. Very ambitious on Minoy's part, though it would certainly be out of character for Minoy to do anything else, wouldn't it?
Oh man, Tide giving the whole Witch Doctor arsenal dropped on his head. Won't kill him, but
Won't kill him, but it's gonna make him back up enough that he's gonna have to wait a minute before he comes back in. I mean, he could walk up to He could walk up to Witch Doctor, hit Soling, and then die instantly. That'd be funny. Ah, Rubik got the Ember ult. Okay.
Radiant's bottom
Ravage.
tower is under attack.
Ravage doesn't actually get anything done, but this might. This is a big kill.
Oh man, yeah. That's
Rubik
fine.
unfortunately takes up the streak for himself, but that's still fine. That's definitely what you want to see right now if you were the Radiant.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Prepare
attack.
for a lesson.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They did have to drop a lot for it, and are going to be lacking responses to either of the other guys, but Minoy's not so far, like, he's not even really ahead of at all. He's the lowest of all the cores. He's not ahead to the point where I'm that worried about him right now, and Ursa is Ursa in this game. He's their pause one, but unfortunately for him, he's not so much their victory condition. So getting Iceman there, it's definitely a big objective for them. They got him in good fashion. Even if the investment was big, I think it was worth it. So beating up more of these jungle creeps. Ursa is starting to close. Yeah, he has taken back his spot over Tidehunter on the other side of the affair. And again,
Radiant's
that's the
bottom
sad thing about
tower is
Tidehunter,
under
especially
attack.
when you're not going to be building him in like a hardcore core type fashion, right? You're not going to be doing the maniac style, get your ags and just go nuts on people. If you're going to do like the more traditional playing style, right? Net worth is not quite as scary. I don't know. But then Ursa's countered out, so it's hard to say. Katie, what do you think? You've been kind of quiet this game. I think Rubik's dead.
Tired.
Yeah,
Good
Minoy.
positioning there on VS's part. Oh no, baby!
Unfortunate.
But it
Katie's
might
dead.
not matter? No, it's gonna matter
Doesn't matter.
actually.
No, he's certainly dead. What is this
Wait,
fight?
he has
so
TP.
weird. Was he right?
And he's
I
gone.
don't know why I didn't
Radiant's
TP
middle
before,
tower
but yeah,
is
he's
under
out.
attack. Radiant's middle tower.
So it
has
didn't matter
fallen.
after all.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Worst player in A, perhaps?
Your place is here.
What do you think, Randy?
Nah.
And
Worst
sweet.
player in A is Anani 1200.
Fuck you!
He's also worst player EU, worst player SCA, worst player AU, worst player SA.
Am I at least good in like that weird African league that's probably a money laundering operation?
You probably do okay there.
Awesome. There's hope for me after all.
500, you're gone on.
Melon does not have enough mana for all. Oh, he does really nice.
Okay, what a god, he's dead, but it doesn't seem like it matters that much.
Where did he get that mana from, by the way?
Iceman. Holy
Boring.
rabbi.
Oh, he has so
Iceman.
We got a buyback in this fight.
This is so crazy.
Yeah, this is a big contrast to the relatively safe and clean early game that we saw the other
Radiant's top
match.
tower is under attack.
I got rabbi. Avenge has 5 kills in this game.
No, Rabbi did.
Dire's top tower is under
Oh,
attack.
Venge also does, okay. So Rabbi.
Even enough.
Rabbi and Venge. Okay, this is...
Yeah, the supports have. Let's see how many combined kills the supports have. 10, 15, 16 kills combined for the
Wow.
supports. in
That
this
is
game.
over half the
Cool.
amount of kills
Is under
total.
attack.
Poor
You'd
core,
love to
bro.
see it.
Minoy is just patiently waiting here. He's waiting to
Yeah,
perform the funny.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, that's a good Sonic Wave. Making up for earlier. Is he dead? He's okay.
Certainly dead
Yeah,
if
he's okay.
Tiny shows
Yeah.
up.
He's fine if Rabbi comes up to clean up.
PA's sitting here looking at him.
Radiant's
He
middle
definitely
tower
was
is
thinking
under
about
attack.
going under tower there, but... And now Rabbi is going to die. Yeah, it's taking so long to kill him, though. It's taking him so long to kill him, and what a benefit they get on the other side of the affair! Wow.
Feels good to be this.
Iceman, what a god. These Searing Chains
So-
are hitting all the right targets right now.
Yeah, Iceman putting on just the exact performance he needed to in this
Radiant's top
game.
tower is
I
under
think,
attack.
you know, Iceman is getting dangerously close to that point where you can say for certain he's popped off. He's bringing in a BKB, which is going to really mess with the affairs for Radiant for quite a long
Radiant's
time.
top tower is under attack.
I don't know, I'm thinking this Iceman Ember Spirit is
Radiant's
going to be
top
kind of hard
tower
for them to
has
answer
fallen.
without devoting so much to. They have
bottom
nothing left for
tower is
Quab
under
and
attack.
Ursa. Oh, tell me he
Radiant's
sees
top
the
tower
stacks in
is
their
under
ancient
attack.
camp, that'd be funny. No, he's not even going to look.
I mean, you can take it, even if you didn't. At least not without an
Not
awkward
quickly, yeah.
kind of time commitment, yeah.
Ping's going out. Look at my sentry ward. Rabbi, what's so interesting about it? What's the
It's very
obsession?
interesting. Okay, Iceman. Gonna run it away from that awkward little situation.
Sorry, we have more important things to watch, like Rabbi dewarding. That was a fascinating mental insight right there. And now, after the insanity that is the last 2 minutes, everybody slows down to catch their breath and think about what happens now. I can tell you this, hard path for Radiant. Gonna be a hard path for Radiant.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a repeat of the last game.
Yep. It's a straight line of dire cores ahead of their Radiant counterparts right now. Straight line of,
Smoke.
you got a lot coming down on the Ember Spirit, but the support is here!
Oh, good
Radiant's
Ravage.
top tower
Good Ravage, but Ursa was ulted.
Yeah, it was. Oh no, the
This
cast!
is a great cask! What a moment from Mufasa! That's gonna be in his highlight reel.
Everyone's dead.
I like how
That's
Rubik
it.
tossed him back.
It feels good to be this good.
Ember Spirit does go down, but again, it's not something where I'm going to be crying over that, I don't think. Ooh. Gotta catch my breath after that one. What did you think of that, Katie?
Radiant are scanning.
As a Witch Doctor player, that was very satisfying.
Yeah, everybody wants to see that happen in their Witch Doctor games. Ursa's gonna get a completely free Roche now, if he can get it fast enough anyway.
Pro tip, don't be near Witch Doctor if you're just two people and there's no creeps nearby.
Damn.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ursa.
One. You got it.
Roshan has fallen to the damage.
No, it's Clarity!
First bear burns immortal in me.
Took it back.
Oh, that's
Place
good.
this Quelling Blade.
No, it's Quelling Blade.
Double damage rune.
Double.
Give
Damn.
that to Iceman.
They're saving it for Ursa.
No, Iceman's gonna take it.
Yeah,
Dang.
it definitely should. Finishes his BKB, by the way. She's gonna make him a lot harder for this game to kill. He's really not gonna die until Puck either Puck gets that 25 trait or PA comes really online. PA is gonna try and come in faster. She is going BKB first, exactly like Kid Dynamite would want.
Yeah. Kid Dynamite is probably yelling at him to do so, in fact.
Exactly. So that is good. PA definitely needs to come out and
Dire's
start
top
swinging
tower
as soon
is
as
under
humanly
attack.
possible, or else by the time she does, she's not going to have a game left, basically. Doesn't matter if you can just wipe Earth off the face of the earth if the other team can knock all 4 of your guys off the face of the earth. Minoy, went to bed?
Oh, okay. Good point.
Dire's top tower is being denied.
Doesn't really matter?
It's a lot of spells.
Yeah. Drops a load on their pause 3, which means outside of Ravage specifically, they don't really have a lot for this T2 tower, especially coming into Iceman DD. This is a very brave TP. Goodbye, Rivik.
Okay.
Steals Searing Chains, dies instantly, support dies instantly. Ursa needs to take the creep aggro off of him before he just dies to the tower and we all laugh at him. Oh god. They're walking away! Trying to chase Puck, I guess.
Yeah, they're trying to see if they can catch Katie.
Not Katie, mind you. Well, it's definitely a good trade for the Dire here. Gave away a T1 and a pause 3 for the support line and a T2 and their outmost. Things are looking up. The gold disparity, if you recall in the last game where the gold disparity was quite large, or quite small between the cores for the most part, this time, not quite the case. Well, actually, yeah, I mean, Tiny's packing more than Puck right now, that ain't great.
Oh, PA.
He was able to just barely get out.
Yep, Blink Strike.
A good foresight there, specifically having positioning to be able to PA out. Sure, I mean, it's a small thing, but hey, you know, you celebrate it all, right? You gotta call everything.
Top tower is under attack.
If it was good, but it was small, it was still good. That creep is probably not what Tiny wanted to toss, doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, it's the funny egg shard.
Witch Doctor's just gonna attempt to go to town all over the Tidehunter there. Gonna get pulled over. Tidehunter, yep, he just has to desperational because he's just about to die. Down he goes. Lot for the remaining members of the Radiant to worry about with the
They're getting run over right now.
I was born to war. You died to it.
He was born to war, I mean, what can you say? I know they take, yeah, they're probably not going to take this T2, which is a bit unfortunate for them, but... The two big unfortunates, neither a kill on PA nor a kill on the tower, but quite a lot of damage done to it, if nothing else.
PA has BKB now. That could change something.
Radiant's middle tower is
Maybe
under
if we had
attack.
some like Chris in game 1 of finals like performance, where he just turns a hopeless game around.
You think this is gone, Randy?
Unless he has a Chris in game 1 like performance where he just turns the game around.
Yeah.
If there's anyone who can have a performance like that, it's Blue Jay.
What about Chris?
And Chris.
Radiant are scanning.
Radiant scan out
Chris
here.
isn't playing in this season, is he?
No, he's not. Radiant scan out here. They don't really find anything too interesting in it. Iceman just barely dodging it like he knows where they're hidden. Checks up on Roche. Roche ain't here for a million years. 3 minutes.
I say that, but I guess if this game survives like another 20 minutes, we could be in a good spot. Like 10 to 15 minutes, I guess, because
Kid
eventually
Dynamite.
this Ursa, he won't scale off, but he'll kind of begin to decline
Right.
when the PA is spiking.
The question is, are the Quap and the Ember Spear going to be able to do anything about that? Quap,
Yeah,
at this
that's the
point, it's
question.
starting to look a little unlikely. Ember Spirit, I'm going to say probably, yeah. I don't know what that means. Oh, Randy, look at what the first item that Quap bought for BKB is.
I mean, it's not a damage hero, it's fine.
Yeah, but Dragon's still going to be mad.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower
There's
is under
more of a
attack.
defensive setup on Ganker than Attack on Elder Titan realizes. I don't think they're quite convinced that they're just hanging out in
Rune
base,
of invisibility.
not really exercising the rights they had to it, aside from knocking out that ancient camp, of course, which is pretty good. Pick up a Titan sliver for themselves, which is going to give Ursa even more status resistance. Did Tiny just fat finger his blink? That looked like Tiny fat finger in his blink, I don't know.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I do like how it got immediately pinged though.
Yeah, there you go. I'm guessing they're gonna make a play with this next Roche.
Probably.
What?
Still got a while to wait.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Not that long. They can probably chip this top 2-2 while they wait.
Man, Ursa's catching up to, not Ursa, Tiny is catching up to PA as far as farm goes at this point.
Yeah, he is.
I will say one thing in this downtime. Watching this guy play Ursa is making me want to learn Ursa.
Explain.
Just a good hero, innit?
Good hero on it.
Good hero, innit?
Okay, he's gonna get a little.
So versatile,
here.
too.
Okay. Fix the support.
Ursa is still in
is.
this, whether he likes it or not.
Ignoring these
Radiant's
spores
top tower is under
to kill the
attack.
supports, which is a good strategy, it turns out.
Who won G1? The Iceman team won G1.
I almost feel bad.
Rubik almost feels bad. PA just finished up Deso. Who is that who's asking that? Can't really reach
Hollywood.
out. Shoutouts to Hollywood.
Oh, Iceman.
Searing caves.
Oh, that's a good quapple!
Oh, yeah.
Big scream.
Wow, okay. Manoy's in the game.
Murder.
Well, he's top net worth right now. He better be in the damn game. Mutual tips. There's one thing though, again, it's just seems like it's really hard for them to actually catch the PA ever.
Radiant's top tower
Roche
has
is
fallen.
successfully been waited for, and with the support line and puck down, it's not going to be a hard one to pick up.
Mortality.
Yeah.
Ursa picks up Shard, he's going to be taking it for himself.
Gold given.
He's got just a pile of crap in his inventory. Working on himself an MKB for the PA
That's
here.
pretty necessary, yeah.
Yep. PA in contrast, working on a Skull Basher. We're gonna take that forward. Interestingly, Quap looking at a Lincoln Sphere. Not sure for what.
Radiant are scanning.
Swap.
Swap, I guess. But I feel like it's gonna be kinda easy to get
Oh, man.
to...
What structure deleted?
And yeah. Like, I'm gonna be a little surprised if Swap is the first thing that hits Manoy in team fights. Before, like, the Magic Missile, before Spell Steal, before the Rubik Q, Telekinesis on, you know? Well, not Gush anymore, I don't think, because... No, he hasn't got his Ags yet, but he is working on it, so not Ags for long. The future is coming on. Tiny's sitting on himself a Philosopher's Stone. You know, it's kind of messed up for Tiny to be carrying around a Philosopher's Stone, isn't it? It's like, for him, that's like having a really
That's true.
small, like, skull in his pocket. Looked like Tiny got caught here. What's actually getting caught is the
Oh,
Radiant
man.
support line. Getting
Tiny's
picked up.
dead. Blue Jay's pretty untouched in this fight.
Ursa did not care about the Ravage.
Oh, okay. Iceman.
Let death become peace.
They need to kill PA though. It's kind of the same situation as last game where, like, within the next 5 minutes, the hero needs to die.
I don't think it's necessarily the same. I don't think
That's not the
Peony's
same.
actually not
tower
doing
is
much.
under attack.
Yeah, she just kills supports. The thing is, I mean, I guess it's gonna wreck
She
them
doesn't
right now.
kill Tiny though, is the
Is
thing.
under
Yeah.
attack.
Well, she just did.
She doesn't kill Iceman. That's the real problem.
Right. Doesn't kill Iceman, and really so far has not
Radiant's
killed
bottom tower
Minoi
is
either.
under attack.
For those of you at home, cannot kill the Ember Spirit, cannot kill the Claw.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks are under
Looks like they're
attack.
happy with the T3 here. Big swap. It's a very ambitious swap. Goodbye, PA!
Oh my god.
Immediate buybacks. Buybacks coming all around for the Radiant.
Sonic waves.
Hurt the ones you love.
What a wholesome shower line.
This is a
That's
pretty
a
big,
fuckman dream coil.
Yeah, it's a pretty big drink coil. That's the Aegis on Ursa. PA BKB is out. Not sure, but I think that might be the 9. That was actually all the way to 6 already. She's been using that to dodge fights on the sidelines, I suppose.
Kind of regroup.
Seems they're going to try and make one last assault here. See if they can knock out the melee racks in this lane.
Radiant's middle
Well,
tower
Randy, you
is
said
under attack.
Blue Jay needed to die, and there you go, he died.
Yeah, he did. And again,
Honestly, comparatively kind of a small amount. Like, smaller than I expected him to need as well.
He needs to die far too.
yeah, he needs to die again. There you go. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Rubik's Sonic
Pretty
wave.
PA
bad.
is
Not
nowhere
bad.
Yeah,
near.
if it's PA's
PA
at the
is now
TP,
near.
so...
That was kind of funny, at least. There's that.
Ursa just got bashed by the
Dire
knife.
structures are
VS
fortified.
gonna buy back.
Radiant's bottom
Oh!
Ursa is dead.
He's dead. That's pretty big, but I have to prove that this is more than just kind of the consolation kill you always seem to get when you're X-Wall.
Well, they're most certainly not gonna get either of the other cores.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are way too slippery.
Quab just finished something involving Mystic Staff. Which appears to be Wind Waker, which is an interesting choice here. Wants to be able to hit other people that are in the Dream Coil, perhaps. Definitely building more like a Pause 3 than I expected him to do so in this game, frankly. It's a lot of defensive items. And you know, you got his little Blink Silence, which I think is, at this point, is pretty much impossible to play
Dire's
Quab
middle
without, I don't
tower
know.
is under attack.
Besides that, it's like, he's got SNK and he's got a Null Talisman, and that's his comprehensive list of offensive items. Looking at an Ags next, it's going to be decent for his offense at the very least. There's that. Iceman looking at a refresher. Interesting. What do you think, Randy?
It's an Ember Spirit. It's an item you buy on Ember Spirit. Pretty standard.
It's nothing unusual.
Can have a lot more impact in fights.
You think it's sunk in for Ursa yet that he's just totally playing base this game? Like, feel a little bad for Blackacre. He's definitely doing good in that way. Like, when PA is not around, Ursa's making himself as much of a menace as possible, and when she is around, he is just kind of dugging his head back and letting the other guys do the work, which is exactly what you need to do in this scenario, I think.
He's got last game to look at, you know.
Right. Got a Mask of Madness! Okay. Dissembled it.
Yeah, he.
Trying to make Satanic, probably?
Yeah.
Just being very awkward for him.
He has too many items. Slayer Sage's Mask. Oh wait, no, he can't. He's buying Mage Slayer. Okay.
For the record, he has finished MKB.
PA wants Abyssal, but it's hard for her to get super shot right now, so she's sitting on a wall of
Radiant
gold.
are scanning.
Radiant
Yep.
scanning out Roche Pit. And it is an accurate assessment. There's somebody in there. More important, kill rather close. Not ultimately get it. But they do give away that the Radiant's making an attack on the Roche Pit here. Guy gets caught on a sentry ward.
Iceman is jumping around.
Yeah, kind of a blind go there.
Radiant's middle tower.
Meanwhile,
is
Minoy's
under
hitting
attack.
T3 mid.
Yeah, another split.
That was perfect.
Forces all these guys to come back and just kind of jerk off killing creeps.
Well, makes most of them come back and do that, but PA gets to take the ancient camp. Iceman being very defensive about the way he's taken this scenario. No,
No,
tied under
statue.
statue. That statue had a family. Abyssal has been completed. Witch Doctor is not in the best spot. It's gonna be a very high toll to take him out, though.
The bait.
Very high toll to take him out, especially considering he doesn't even actually die.
We'll call that a bait. We'll be very generous.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I think it might have been.
Radiant structure.
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah, it might have actually
After
been,
how
yeah,
much
like-
he's been doing it, both this game and last, I think you can say there's at least a decent amount of deliberation when it's a situation like that. But again, it's just not quite enough. It's an interesting
Minoy.
scenario for the Dire here. They can get these victories, but just slightly smaller than they need to actually get anything tangibly done out of it.
Minoy Wind Waker, very cool.
Yep, mentioned that earlier. Iceman coming in.
Oh, Rabbi.
Iceman jumps right past the Ravage! Goodbye,
Is
PA! That's the PA
That's it.
dieback, and that's the end of the game.
Has fallen.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle base has fallen.
Oh man.
Rubik hits Ghost Scepter right in front of Tiny because he just wants to die, I guess. Puck goes out and does
Radiant's
not
middle
last.
barracks are under attack.
That would be funny if that worked, but it didn't. Actually gets Kid Dynamite in spawn there.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
To not feed after midnight, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Again, Kid Dynamite's team is not going to take it. They're just going to hold on to the better end, even though at this point, what are they really going to do? Well, they actually might do something if so many guys on Iceman's team are just sitting here fountain farming. Come on, guys, you can't do this.
I mean, it's fine. The game's over.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire structures are falling. Radiant's top tower is under
Like,
attack.
look at that. You really think the game's winnable after watching this?
Well, no.
Still winnable, guys, still winnable.
It's not still. Well, you can stop wrong all you want, brothers.
GG's
There
are
you go.
called. Game is over. 2-0 for Iceman. I don't know, I think that's a bit of a surprise. I mean, yeah, I think we knew. Well, at least we were
That's it. I
fairly
mean, there's always on
confident.
the team. Yeah, I used to be like Divine 3.
Dire victory.
We were fairly confident that Iceman's team was going to be on the stronger side of affairs here, but I will say, you know, the 2 straight wins is a bit of a surprise. You know, Minoy used to be a Divine 3, but Minoy is also not a POS 3 player, is he? You know, not by trade anyway. Yeah, I think if there's one thing that this really kind of showed, looking in on the attack on Elder Titan philosophy, I think Iceman is good at setting himself up a house of cards where he's not relying on one specific thing to win the game. You know, if Iceman falls apart, it's fine because they got Blackacre. If Blackacre falls apart, it's fine because they got presumably in the future, Mr. Fishay, right? Everybody on his team can pop off and be the guy, but not everybody on his team needs to do it. You know, it's not like in this game, if Puck actually just smashed Ember Spirit's teeth in at mid, you know, there's still something for him to do. He can still just kind of come in, play base for, you know, potentially Tiny, who'd kind of move into that role. Come in, play base for Quap, right? And basically just use chains and use items to set up things for other people to knock down. Now, that's not how it went, but the possibility was always there. You know, the only person who had a very rigid, defined goal that could not do anything if it wasn't met was probably Ursa in this, and even he at least could probably find something to do itemization-wise, right? It's definitely an interesting couple of drafts. And then on the other hand, it felt like, in direct contrast, it felt like both games, the entire weight of Ganker x Ganker was placed firmly on Blue Jay's head. And maybe it's just because Kid Dynamite doesn't want to spend another whole season playing Huskar or something, I don't know. But definitely feels like in both games it was just down to Blue Jay has to have a really, really good game, or else it's kind of not it for Ganker x Ganker. Now, both teams were set up in the idea of making it as easy as possible for that to be the case. So it's not like there's no merit to that line of thinking. But I think in both games, it just kind of ended up backfiring on them. In Game 1, his game was good, but just not the good he needed. And in Game 2, he just ended up being a little too well answered by the enemy team. I mean, the first fight that he really takes a very staked part in at the bot T3, he just kind of melts. Has to immediately buy back. I don't know. What do you two think?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate for the Blue Jay.
Yeah. Katie,
can you
you
do?
here?
Yeah.
Katie, give us your opinion on these games.
I think Iceman completely carried the second game. I think saying O-rigged standard for that one is irrelevant, because, like, of course.
Yeah, just play mid-hero offline.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like at the end of the day, you guys want to hear something that you're gonna think might be nuts?
Sure.
BBC had a week 1 poll, and one of the questions was, who do you think the strongest team this season is gonna be? And I voted Iceman's team. I think these guys have a lot of
Hollywood.
potential. I think Hollywood's team is going to be a very strong contention team. I actually think Kid Dynamite's team has a lot of upside as well. Maybe some organization things. Like in Game 1, we definitely saw some things that looked like, you know, right hand not talking to the left, and by that I mean Looter not talking to the Dark Ace, right? But it's not enough that it looks like a terminal issue. I think KD's definitely going to have a solid upper level team, but this Iceman team I think is going to be the guys to watch this season, perhaps.
Yeah,
You know-
I agree. I also think London's team
You think London's team's going to be really good?
pretty strong. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
would say
think also, yeah.
Iceman's team definitely looks a lot stronger than London's team, but London's team can maybe take it depending on just drafts
Right.
and stuff.
Yeah, I think London's team has, like, for those of you who watched Season 12, I think they might be the Radiant Straits of this season, where they're definitely going to be a very strong upper-level team, and it's going to be a lot about how they can make that pause 1 and 2 combo work. I think London's found himself a good partner in Kai. I think their play styles and their pools are very complementary. But I feel like, if there's one thing that we've seen here, I think the Iceman, Blackhaker, and potentially Fishay. I mean, from what I know, Fishay mostly plays offlane in the way that Minoy would. If you use this as a basic extrapolation of here's how Fishay is going to be, you can say that's a strong triad. How's a triad going to face a duo, right? And you had Rabbi, who I think in both games, I think that was some really good pause 4 performances. I think this might be an eyebrow raiser for Rabbi in this league. I think that was 2 really good pause 4 games out of him. What do you think?
Yeah, very good. Good
Hopefully,
enigma.
I hope he really overshadows Cranberry Sprite this season. And that's it. That's the ball game. So, if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg to sign up today. It's too late to get into Season 14. Don't let the Season 13 ticket lie to you. We're well into that. But there's always going to be queues happening. There's going to be in-houses happening probably later. All kinds of fun stuff, right? we're always looking for stand-ins. There was like 5 stand-ins that were going around this week, so we're definitely always looking for stand-ins. If you want to be doing that, definitely be on the lookout. And one last thing before we go, though. Hey, Katie.
Please no. What's up?
Katie, who's our sponsor? Not
Um.
Genshin, not Genshin, not Genshin, not Genshin.
Genshin Impact. Download for
That's
free
it. I'm outta
today on
here.
the Epic